of Delta State, Okowa, former governor, the 96-year-old national leader demanded detailed expenditure of the 13% oil derivation funds. Joining us now on this show as we discuss the state of the nation amid the newly elected 10th National Assembly principal officers is Chief Edwin Clark, elder statesman and Ijaw leader. Good morning, Chief E.K. Clark, and thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
For having given me this privilege to appear before you today. Sorry for the mix-up last night, yesterday morning.
Well, thank you for joining us, sir. Well, yesterday, we had a major event in Nigeria. Tajuddin Abbas, who is now the elected Speaker of the House of Representatives, described it as a momentous event in Nigeria's history. Akpabio, now Senate President, described it as an uncommon event. And Akpabio, I recall, was with you on Saturday to seek your blessings. And you were quoted as having said, it would be a good thing to have a Senate President from the South, and also to have a Christian as a Senate President in the present dispensation. What's your reaction to yesterday's development, particularly the fact that someone from the South and a Christian is now Senate President? And we have a Deputy Speaker who is also a Christian in the House of Representatives from the Southeast.
Thank you very much. I'm not a pessimist. I'm always wanting to believe that the right thing will be done in Nigeria. At the moment, Nigeria is a broken country, breaking. Even though the last government refused to accept it. They scored themselves 100%. Nobody believed them. No right thinking Nigeria believed them. Now, we believe that we must build up a country. Whoever becomes the president, that's what we believe in. How do we heal the wound? The South and the North must be partners, equal partners. I was surprised yesterday to hear that of the 109 senators, 55 of them are Muslims, 54 are Christians. Whoever knew that? That the Christians have to relegate to the background? No. So what happened yesterday? Glad in my mind. I congratulate the 109 senators. I was a senator myself. They've done very well. They conducted themselves very well. And the competition that went on, even though Yari was not qualified, it went on very well. It shows that Nigerians are coming to understand themselves. This never happened some years ago. So I congratulate all of them. Congratulate the President of the Senate, on the uncommon thing actually happened. Nobody thought he would win. He came to me and I blessed him. I gave him my prayer. I'm 96 years old. I know God will hear my prayer. Listen to my prayer. So I congratulate him and even congratulate his opponent, Yari, who was able to muster 46 votes. I congratulate him. And the way he came to embrace his man who defeated him. Same goes to the House of Representatives, where they openly showed that I vote for this man. I vote for this man. I was very, very proud. So I congratulate all of them, and I pray that the Almighty God will keep them together, think about the interests of Nigeria first, before themselves. I also want to advise them whether in the 10th Senate Assembly, they'll be able to reduce the cost. People are suffering in Nigeria, but a few people are enjoying. Nothing has changed in the state house. The number of things they do, they have not reduced them. The number of cars Mr. President used, the number of cars governors use, the number of cars the President of the Senate use, these things have to be reduced to show to Nigerians that something is wrong, that the economy is down. Therefore, we are all observing that. In another word, I thank the new assembly for what they have done. This reminds me of 2014, when we had the national conference. At the end of the conference, where we recommended 600 recommendations, my good friend, Professor Jibril Aminu, from Adamawa, came to me, said, Ike, a new Nigeria had been born. And he held me, and we went to His Majesty the Lamido of Adamawa, who had already threatened, when the debate was very hot, that those of you who are arguing, it was referred to some of us, that you have no place to go if Nigeria breaks. But I have my Adamawa state in the Cameroons, and we will go there. So at the end of the conference, Jibril Aminu took me to him, and I said, Your Excellency, Your Majesty, we are very happy with what has happened today. You will not go back to to Cameroon again. So we laughed and we took a group of photographs together. The people who sat by me, Gambo Jimeta, former Inspector General Police, Bello, Dr. Bello, who was former Defense Minister, they sat by me, and we all embraced ourselves. What happened yesterday is similar to that.
Right.
That we now recognize that Christians and Muslims must run this country on partnership.
Yes, sir.
I'm not recognizing religion, but the account to be played. Religion and ethnicity have come to be in the forefront of Nigerian politics. Yet they deny that we're not talking. Yes, they practice it. That was the bane of the last government.
Yes, sir. All right, Chief
So I
Clerk.
congratulate them. Thank you.
Congratulations to the newly elected President of the Senate. When he visited you, that Senator Godswill Akpabio, on Saturday, one of the things he had said was that if he were elected, or if he was elected yesterday, there would be greater attention given to the Niger Delta region. Also, during President Tinubu's campaigns, he had also made some promises for the Niger Delta people. As an elder statesman and Ijaw leader, what are some of the things you'd like to see in terms of development, in terms of greater attention to the Niger Delta people in this particular administration under President Tinubu and, of course, under the newly elected South-South Senate President?
Thank you very much. You know, I'm a forthright man. It's true. I don't mix up things. You know very well that the elections, the tribunals are still holding. In that case, we are looking for a judgment from the tribunal, if possible, from the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So it's too early for me to comment on the President Tinubu's administration. But as to what Akpabio said, yes, the Niger Delta people produce all the oil in this country, almost all of them. But we are strangers in our own home. We are poorer than what we were when our forefathers when our forefathers were alive, they were wealthy traders. You take King Jaja of Opobo, you take Nana of Ologun, you take King Boy of Brass, everybody, even my own great-grandfather bought a ship of his own. The European intelligence report says that My great-grandfather, Bekederemo, had a compound as big as that of the Oba of Benin. He had a glass house for European guests. But today, everything has gone down. Our schools are not well equipped, no teachers. And to imagine that we don't have a proper development in our area. Series of inquiries have been set up. The General Gomodia's report, General Popular's report in 1998. Where are they? Nothing has happened. We are suffering. I to tell you that how bad it is. I have to travel to Daura. If I want something from the oil, benefit from the oil that is found in my backyard, to go and take permission for that benefit to be given to me. What a shame. We have no light. We have no water. We have fishermen. We were fishermen. Today, fishes are dying in the river. They are floating all about. We have to eat ice fish now in our Niger Delta, which is an abomination. So we are suffering. No roads. Look at the East-West Road. I took it up with Senator Akpabio, President of the Senate, when he came to visit me. He told me that 75 billion naira given to him by Buhari to finish the road was later taken from him when people like the Minister of Transportation, Mechi, and others went to President Silva. They've always been fighting among themselves. Went to the president. This is what Akpabio told me last Saturday. And that the job should be, East-West Road, should be handed over to Minister of Wealth, Federal Minister of Wealth. And Mr. President asked him to hand over the money to the Minister of Wealth. So people are blaming him that he embezzled 75 billion naira. So these are some of the problems we are facing. East-West Road has been being constructed for over 12 years now. Nothing has happened. Yet the Minister of Transportation at that time was building railways to Maradi in Niger. Forgot his own area. He comes from the River State. He should be able to show what he did for the River State.
Okay.
In the River State.
Okay, sir. Okay, I mean...
So we are suffering.
Thank you so much.
And I believe that Akpabio should be able. He was a good governor in the Akwa Ibom. And I think
thank you
if
so much.
anything has happened to him
Thank you so
that
much,
made
sir.
people to leave him at a time, and now he must have now learned his lesson.
Okay.
And work with him. Thank you.
Based on this suffering of the people of the Niger Delta is why you wrote a letter as regards how the monies were spent in Delta State, because people fought for that, derivation. I'd like you to speak about that and the fact that NDDC too, which Mr. Akpabio was Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, we all saw what happened with the NDDC contracts and the fact that a lot was not done for the Niger Delta people. Can you also speak as regards that? And also, I want your thoughts on this subsidy removal, the hardship on fuel price that a lot of people are facing. You've seen Nigeria go through all of this. And lastly, happy birthday to you once again. Happy 96th birthday. 5th of May was your birthday.
Thank you.
I mean, it's so amazing that a man that was born in 1927 is looking very sprite and young. May your days be long, sir.
Well, thank you very much. God bless. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's the handwork of God. Now, let me say this. This 13% derivation was something raised at the Constituent Assembly, chairman by the former justice of the Supreme Court. Now, people like General late General Chewu Yaradua, and others felt that there was need to compensate the people that produce the oil, and we were around lobbying. 13% was granted under Section 1622 of the Constitution, which provided at least 13% of the Federation account must be paid to the oil-producing communities for their development. If that money was properly spent, our boys will not be agitating. There will be no more militants in the creeks. But we are about to be facing the federal government and not facing the governors who have been stealing the money. 2014 that conference, we asked for an increase of to 25% to 50% after 5 years. But they told us, we will give you 18%. But go home and see what your governors are doing with the 13%. That is why we decided to ask the governors, what have you been doing with this money? I remember in 2017, the new Niger Avengers gave a warning to the federal government that they will attack oil pipelines and platforms if the derivation money is not used in developing them. I have to intervene. Appeal to them that I will talk to the governor. The managing director, Makinde, and his deputy came to see me in Abuja here in 2017. That he couldn't pay their staff, that the contractors, they are owing, they can't pay them, and the contractors' properties are being seized by the banks that gave them the collateral, the money, the loan, and they use their properties as collateral. So I sent a message to the governor, to the then governor, Okowa. I said, please, make some money available. I learned you're on leave. Please make some money available to the Desopadec. Because under Section 14 of the Desopadec law, which Governor Ibori enacted in 2006, I think by August, says that 50% of the 13% should be given to Desopadec, the new organization. The question many of us asked at that time, what happened to the remaining 50%? What are you going to do with it? Nobody could account for it. And that had been going on. So to cut a long story short, recently, the executive governor, the former governor of Rivers State, Wike, revealed in one of his press conferences that such amount of money was paid to them by President Buhari's government under the 13% derivation. And the Delta State got over 250 billion naira. And this is what they took out. That's annoying the governor of Delta State. They issued statement criticizing criticizing Wike for interfering in their matters. But we thought there's need to know what has happened. So I wrote a letter to Okowa, to the governor, to account for the money he had been collecting. He didn't care. He said he had been spending the money. The answer they gave me, that they spent 5 billion naira in paying pensioners in Delta State. How does that come under 13%? Are pensioners oil-producing pensioners? And they spend the money building a university in his own village. with his money. So I wrote him, I decided to employ a lawyer who went to the Federal Accountant General's office to obtain the certified copy of all the amount they paid to Delta State since 2007 to December 2022. And I got a letter from the Accountant General's office listing everything there, all what every oil producing state had been paid. And the one paid to Delta State came to 1 trillion 760 something billion naira. Ordinary loan from 2007 to June 2015 received about 700,000 billion. The balance was paid to Okowa because oil was coming very easily in large number and prices were high. So what he was paid was 1 trillion. Instead of paying the 50% provided by his own law, the Superdeck Law, Section 14, which is automatic that money must be given to them, he now held the 13%, the entire money, 13%, dishing out instrumentally and approving every contract the Superdeck awarded. And I said, give me an account. So I wrote him a second letter, which I've already copied the EFCC. We cannot be cheated. Governors are now wealthier than their states. He has got a bank. Today, most of our money have been paid into that 2-year-old bank.
What's the name of that
bank? And during the last election, pardon?
What's the name of the bank?
They call it, whether is it Premium Bank? Yeah, the name of the bank, can you mention it to me? I said something Premium Bank. The managing director is one Emefiele from the same village with Okowa. Okowa's brother, Monday Okowa, who was in the Zenith Bank, is there. He has gone transferred there. And this man had 13 companies. I mentioned them to him. Tell me, you have been paid the 13% into this account, 13 of them. Let him deny them. We've got the list of the banks. I've written to him. What are these companies? Private companies. So Okowa has embezzled our money. It's not even accounted for in his annual budget. Is it a part of security fund? It's very nepotic. So we cannot. We founded Delta State. I'm a stakeholder, the oldest stakeholder. I cannot keep quiet. Cannot be criticizing federal government every time. Oh, you are taking our money. When those at home who receive the money, their monthly allocation is higher than every other state. In addition to the 13%.
Chief.
These are criminals.
Chief.
Who must be jailed. Thank you.
If I may come in here. Well, the Premium Bank that you referred to.
Yeah, come in, Ruben.
Yes, sir. It's on record.
Which one?
That Premium Bank, which you referred to. It's on record that former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has already indicated that neither himself nor any member of his family is a shareholder in that bank. That is in the public domain.
He's a liar.
Well.
I'm sorry to say he's a liar.
Well, but that is what is in the public domain.
No, I've told you. Listen, I've told you. We didn't. Why is it that when he wanted a loan of 150 billion naira from a number of banks, of which Zenith Bank was to be the leader, he later changed it that his bank, this premium bank, should lead. Zenith Bank withdrew.
Okay.
Find out.
Chief.
And as I mentioned to you earlier, his brother who was working in Zenith Bank is now the general manager in Premium Bank. This Mayfield from his own place is now the managing director of Zenith Bank.
I heard you earlier, sir.
How coincidental are these?
Sir, I heard you earlier, just for the purpose of balance, just to remind us that, there was a statement by the governor, as he then was, that, look, he's not involved with Premium Bank in any way. It's just for the purpose of balance. However, I wanted to ask you, this latest protest...
No, I also, before you go there, I want to ask a question. Then Premium Bank facilitated easily to be in existence a 2-year bank. Who are the shareholders of that bank? How much money do they have? I know the share capital of that bank. I know those who formed it. It was a small bank, started from Port Harcourt. I know the history.
Okay, sir.
Well,
sir,
go on. You can find out.
Okay,
yes.
let's go beyond that. But I'm curious about this fixation with Okowa. I know that Okowa is no longer governor. If you are raising further protests, is it not the right thing to do to direct it to Oberewori, who is now the governor, and not Okowa? Because Oberewori, as governor of Delta State, is the one now who can respond to some of these queries. But when Ifeanyi Okowa wanted to be running mate to Atiku, you opposed him. You said he was sabotaging southern Nigeria. And now you are raising a lot of queries about his direct involvement in the disbursement of derivation funds.
Do you want me to comment on that? Do you want me to comment on that?
Okay, go ahead, sir, if you want to. Listen, I wanted to ask another question.
Listen, let me tell you why the whole of Nigeria, southern Nigeria, regard Okowa as a traitor. Let me tell you, it's a betrayal. Okowa invited a volunteer to host a meeting of the 17 governors of the South. He provided accommodation for every one of them. He provided the secretary. I know the person who was the secretary of the government at the time. They were there. They drafted the communique, supervised by him, and given to the Kurudodu to read, the governor of Ondo State. He read it. Then they all went to Lagos to confirm it. They went to Enugu to confirm it, not knowing that the same Okowa was spending our money to Atiku. I asked him the question in my letter, answer it. The delegates to the primaries of PDP, who do they vote for? Do they vote for Wike or for Emmanuel Ikpodom of Akwa Ibom? They all vote for Atiku. You were kidding. So he deceived his colleagues, yet that we should have a president from the South, only to team up with Atiku to betray us. All the governors know about that. He's a man who is very ambitious, quiet, giving a wrong impression about himself, that he's a very good man, very crafty man, deceive his own people. That's why the southern Nigeria and the middle belt forum, which I heard, Ayo Adebanjo is there, Iwanyanwu is there as the leader of Ohanese, Dr. Pogu is there, and late Dan Suleiman. We all took a decision that we will never support Atiku. That's in PDP. And nobody from the South should become a running mate to any northerner at that time. But he violated it. He was very happy, going about now claiming that it's an Igbo man. So Igbo man does not get president, the Igbo man will have a vice president. That's the thing that actually led DP to lose in Delta State.
Well, thank you, Chief.
Have you had that part of it?
Well, thank you very much, Chief.
So
We seem to have run out
him,
of time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to answer all your questions. The last question you asked, what was it?
No, but unfortunately, we've run out of time. We just want to thank you very much, sir, for joining